All right, we are live. I am live. Danny is coming in a second. For those of you guys that have our weekly rankings, they are available right now. Mine are up there. Danny should be putting his into the sheet right now, as well as our wide receiver start sits video. I dropped it earlier today. Also, with those videos, the matchup charts, the wide receiver cornerback matchups, all that stuff will be posted to Patreon. Same goes for the running backs as well, with all the usage tables and stuff. So if you guys want behind the scenes look at that kind of stuff, you can check out the Patreon for that. But anyways, we are live. We got a pretty damn good game on Thursday night this week. So this one should be exciting. Jeff was the first one in here. What's going on, Danny?
Yep.
Jeff was the first one in here. Give him the benefit of the doubt here. Hits with the first, of course. We love to see that. Nuke, should I start Everett tonight or wait for Kittle? I also have Tunyon.
I would just wait for Kittle. Worst case scenario, you have to play Tunyon.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably where I'm going. For a Darrell Henderson owner, would it make sense to trade Dameon Pierce for Cam Akers to lock down the Rams backfield?
I wouldn't.
I would rather have Cam Akers than Dameon Pierce, so I'm just looking at it at face value and say, yes, I would probably just make that trade. I'm not making it for that reason, but I would just rather have Dameon Pierce than Cam Akers, or rather have Cam Akers than Dameon Pierce.
And that's fair. But I was more so with the rationale here because he meant it like, oh, I want to lock down the backfield. I don't agree with that. However, from a face value standpoint, I would agree that I would rather have Cam Akers and Dameon Pierce. However, I would rather make that move and maybe try to sell high on Henderson.
Right. Especially if he has another game this week where he's like the main guy or whatever. Need running back 2, wide receiver 2, and a flex. I have Henderson, Najee Harris, Hollywood Brown, and Jerry Jeudy. So if Najee plays, he's in my lineup. I'm not going to sit him. And then Hollywood Brown is my wide receiver 2 there, and I'm probably going Jeudy as the flex. I'd probably sit Henderson. I think he's a fine start this week, but you got some great options there. Lattimore has 2 sons on their squad. Yeah, happy fuck the Saints week. Fucking New Orleans thinks that they're going to win this game. It's actually the cutest thing I've ever seen. Would you trade Dameon Pierce for Drake London and Amari Cooper? Yes, you would. Yeah, I would rather have
Drake London's a top 30 receiver rest of the season.
Yeah, I would rather have Drake London than Dameon Pierce straight up. So give me Amari also on top of that. Juju or Scary Terry full PPR? I believe I have Terry higher, but I do actually really like Juju this week. Yeah, I have Terry at wide receiver 19, and I have Juju at wide receiver 22. So I do have Terry a little bit higher.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Sorry, I have Terry at wide receiver 15 and Juju at wide receiver 22. My bad. Meant to say Pierce and Garrett Wilson for London and Cooper. Wilson did look good last week, but I'm still going to take London and Cooper.
Yeah, I still want London and Cooper. Again, the biggest takeaway I kind of got from the rookies in week 1 is that for right now, I mean, Drake London looks like he's going to be a top 30 receiver. Given the role that he has on that Falcons offense, given the attention that the defenses were showing to Kyle Pitts this past week, I wouldn't be shocked if this was like a 1,100-yard, 10-touchdown type of rookie season.
Well, yeah, we talked about it going into the season. I said, he's not going to be Chase, not going to be Jefferson, but could he be Waddle? That was really my thing with London because, I mean, with Waddle, he came into a receiving core empty of talent, commanded 145 targets. Wouldn't shock me if London does the same thing. So A.J. Dillon or Devontae Smith in full PPR. Full PPR gives me more lenience towards the wide receiver, but I think I would go A.J. Dillon. Yeah, I think I'd go A.J. Dillon as well, but it's closer in full PPR.
Call it an overreaction. I have Dillon over Aaron Jones in my rankings right now.
Really? You have Dillon over Aaron Jones? What was the utilization? I got to pull that up right now.
Well, I know all the inside the 5 touches and red zone touches were pretty much given to Aaron Jones.
Really?
Yeah. Or A.J. Dillon, sorry, yeah.
Right. That makes sense. And you also had, Aaron Jones was running a lot more routes, 65% to 37%, but Dillon actually commanded 6 to 5 targets. So, when we were talking about it in the offseason, everybody was like, Aaron Jones is going to have 9 targets a game now that Devontae Adams is gone. I was like, the running back position in general might see a lot of targets, but I think Dillon's going to be involved in the passing game also because he's shown to be a capable pass catcher. And he out-targeted Aaron Jones in the first game.
And he just looked better, honestly. Obviously Aaron Jones looked fine, but I just thought when watching that game, A.J. Dillon looks like he could be a starting running back on any team.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Bush, good luck this week, but I need to get the dub over you. Can't be starting 0-2. Yeah, I play him in the Listener Dynasty League. It is a heavyweight fight. Me and him both have really, really good teams. So
dude, it's so funny in that league because I made a move that I felt gross doing, but it helps my team this year, which I think it's pretty set right now, who's gonna pretty much contend in that league. And I feel like, again, like if I had the right players to pass me through for the next couple of weeks, I can contend. The main thing, the reason why I'm saying that is because I have Breece Hall, Cam Akers, Kenneth Walker, James Cook. So not really steady production at the running back position. And outside of Herbert and Josh Allen, my starters, Deshaun Watson suspended for the first 11 weeks. So I love David Bell, but I ended up trading David Bell to Spicy Hot, and I got Marcus Mariota, Rex Burkhead, and I believe a mid-ish type of 2023 third. So not crazy about it, but I mean, to get me over in that league, especially with my wide receiver 7 or 8 on my roster, I was fine making that move.
Yeah, it's not bad. You want to go down to the super? Glad to
Yep,
be back.
I will click
so
us.
we can do that with ease.
Appreciate that. Aggie says, $4.99 super chat. He says Cordarrelle or Kareem. Also pick 3 for my wide receiver 2 in flex. Sutton, A-Rob, Hollywood, and Christian Kirk. Yeah, sorry, I just completely
Christian Kirk or Rashad Bateman. Yeah. So I'm going Sutton, Hollywood Brown, and Christian Kirk. They'll be the ones I would go.
I agree with that. In terms of the running back too, Cordarrelle or Kareem, it's pretty close, but I just got to trust the opportunity share we saw from Cordarrelle Patterson in week 1. I mean, this guy legitimately looked like a workhorse type of running back for Atlanta. So I'm interested to see what exactly happens this week. Obviously, Damian Williams is nicked up. Maybe he comes back and commands more work out of that backfield, or Tyler Algier ends up developing into that player. But for the time being, I'm pretty safe to say that we should see about 18, 20 plus opportunities per game for Cordarrelle Patterson for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, dude, I looked at how I'm quite heavy on Cordarrelle Patterson on Underdog. I didn't realize how hot, how many shares of him I actually had until I looked at my own, because after he had the game, I was like, man, I think I have a decent amount of Cordarrelle Patterson. And let me just pull up my exposure right now. I have 17% Cordarrelle Patterson. I got a lot of him because, especially in best ball, man, I thought he was a great value. At least I did. I expected everybody to overreact to what he did last year and for him to be a dead zone running back, like a 5th round pick. And you were getting him in the 10th round half the time. I'm like, I'm cool with him at that point.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, between him and Kareem Hunt, they were pretty nice decision points at that that point of the draft. Oddly enough, that this is your question here, because with Kareem Hunt, we knew that he always had the upside cuff, AJ Dillon type of appeal, with the upside that he could get traded. And I mean, we saw it in week 1. He got the valuable touches for the Browns and scored 2 touchdowns. But with that being said, I would still rather Cordarrelle, but Hunt's a fringe top 24 type of running back as well for me this week.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we got another super from our gravy there.
Appreciate that. He says, PPR 10 team, start 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a flex. Do I need to upgrade wide receiver if I have Higgins, MT, Juju, and Hopkins? I have Eckler, Swift, Gibson, Patterson, sell Gibson. I don't mind selling high on Gibson if you want to, maybe even do Gibson and Juju to see if you can buy low on a receiver that maybe had a bad week 1.
Yeah, I'm trying to think in that range, because all the guys that are in that range that I'd be going for had good week 1s, like AJ Brown, maybe Deebo Samuel. If somebody's not too excited about Deebo, you could go after somebody like that. But Tyreek, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, they all had good week 1s, but that'd be the territory of wide receiver that'd be looking for.
It sucks because
Lamb would be perfect, but I wouldn't give up that much for Lamb,
especially with Dak on the mend. Yeah, no, I agree.
If Dak was healthy, I would give that much up for Lamb.
If Dak was expected back week 5, I would be fine doing that type of deal. But I mean, week 6 is the earliest, and that's what we got to hope for from Jerry Jones. But realistically, it's probably going to be a 6+ week recovery.
Yeah, the one thing you could do too is because Hopkins is out right now, you could potentially bait somebody into taking Gibson and Hopkins for a wide receiver upgrade, because Hopkins is a huge name, right? So even though he's out for a couple games, people will still be drawn to that. So we got Brock. Won't be able to mod chat. No worries. Listening in the car. Pat Freiermuth or Gerald Everett full PPR. Pat Freiermuth looks like an every week starter at tight end for me. I don't want to sit him at all, especially in PPR formats. Trubisky and, if Pickett ever takes over this offense, they don't look like good quarterbacks. They're looking like guys trying to get the ball out fast. And Freiermuth is an easy target. And we saw that in week 1. He had 9 targets in the first game and the second most receiving yards of any tight end.
Yep. No, he looked really good in week 1. If we can get that type of usage for the rest of the season, he's a clear top, TJ Hawkinson plus type of territory is what I would see from Freiermuth.
I will be a wealthy person probably if he gets a lot of usage, because I have 26% Pat Freiermuth on Underdog. I have a stupid amount of him.
Side note, I know this guy had a very, very disappointing week 1. But if anybody in your league is dropping David Njoku, he still had a 73% route participation in week 1. So he was still part of that game plan. It's just the targets weren't really going his way. if we see that, develop, they make it more of an emphasis to get the ball in his hands in week 2 and on. Like, I think that could be a really good candidate that might even be on your waiver wire.
Yeah, he definitely, and Njoku definitely could be out there on waiver wires for people. DJ Moore, Hollywood, CD Henderson.
Well, I just want to say one thing. Chap, once is enough for your question, okay?
Yeah, please only ask your question once.
Yeah.
We are going in order. We will get if you only ask your question once, it's probably a good chance that we'll get to other people's questions as well.
Yes.
So we really appreciate that. Alex, I'm going to go with the first 3. DJ Moore, Hollywood, and CD Lamb of those guys. Jared, 2 quick ones. Everett tonight or Goddard full PPR? I'm going to take Dallas Goddard. I like the opportunity and the game script potential tonight for Gerald Everett, but I have him, I believe, tight end 11, and I have
my
Goddard.
tight end 10.
I have Goddard tight end 5 this week, so I'm much higher on Goddard. I think he's an every week starter.
I have Everett at 10 and Goddard at 5.
Yeah. What's good, guys? What's going on, Omar?
Omar.
Which side, Mike Evans and Henderson or Diggs and Stevenson?
Stevenson.
Yeah, I would rather have Diggs by like a pretty decent margin over Mike Evans, I would say. And Stevenson and Henderson's close enough to me that I'm not as worried about the difference in the receivers there. If you have Palmer and Boyd, what are you doing? Can't really start both. I mean, unfortunately, you're not going to know if Higgins is playing yet before you have to make the decision. I'm personally going to probably just start Palmer. I know for sure that Keenan Allen is out, so I'm going to go with Palmer. He was running way more routes than DeAndre Carter, and Boyd is a pretty big downgrade, I would say, if Higgins is playing. So at the risk that Higgins plays, I'm going to go with Palmer there. Praying AK plays, me and you both, brother. I think he'll be okay though. Asked you about a trade in the comments before where I get Henry. Why aren't you a fan of his this year? I'm not a fan of Derrick Henry. I just don't want to hold him long term necessarily. And I think based on name value, I would rather have like Javonte Williams or DeAndre Swift in that area of running back, because if you have Henry, you could probably get those guys plus potentially. Yo, what's up, boys? Start to CD, Julio, or Michael Thomas. Thinking Julio because of Lattimore and Evans and Godwin out. Yeah, makes sense. I have Julio inside my top 40 wide receivers, but those 2 options are too good for me to play Julio.
Yeah, I'm going MT and CD pretty easily. MT's a top 15 receiver for me now, right back in my ranks.
I understand the draw of playing Julio this week, but I'm not going to start him over those 2 guys.
Where would you rank him? Like the wide receiver 30s type of territory?
I have him right now. I don't have him that high. I have him at 35. So
that's exactly where I have him.
Right ahead of Allen I have him ahead of Allen Robinson though. So
I have Robinson a few spots higher, but I have Ayuk 1 spot higher than him.
Yeah, I have Ayuk at 28.
Oh wow,
I have him way higher. I think Ayuk's going to be great this week with Debo probably playing more like running back. I think Ayuk is going to be awesome.
I don't mind it either. Yeah, I think that's a good play.
Speaking of Ayuk, I have my own start set conundrum in my own league because
I'll ask you one too after.
In my 2 flex spots, I have to decide between Darrell Henderson, Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Moore, and Christian Kirk. And right now, I'm leaning.
You only have to pick one of them?
I have to pick 2 of them. I think Christian Kirk has to be one of them. Personally, I think
Henderson has to be the other one.
Yeah, I think Henderson probably has to be the other one as well. But I'm going to be, because Elijah Moore's game total, that Browns-Jets game is like 40 points. And the Sharps are on the under, so I don't expect that to be a high-scoring game. And Brandon Ayuk, I mean, I think he's going to have a good week this week, and I think he can, Trey Lance can bounce back, but I didn't really love what I saw in week 1. So I'm going to go with those 2 guys probably. Also, hope you guys enjoyed your trip. Sorry about Dak, Danny, but look on the bright side. You guys can tank now, fire McCarthy, and get Sean Payton. Yeah, I mean, that was probably going to be the plan even after they lost in the first round this year. So, Spicy Yacht, yo, what's going on? Should I trade
brother?
Henderson, Dotson, and Wilson for Kamara? I'm assuming that's Jeff Wilson, but I'm not exactly sure.
Or Garrett.
If you can afford to lose all that depth, I'm totally cool going to get Kamara for sure. Like, I don't think that's a trade that I'm even hesitating if I can get Kamara for that.
I agree.
I have one Ayuk, A-Rob, Palmer, Judy, full P. I'm going Judy there. 100. Oh, there's 3 players that he can start here. Okay, so I'm probably sitting Palmer of those guys.
I would agree with that.
I like Palmer this week, but I'm not going to get too cute and play him over Allen Robinson. Although Allen Robinson is going to get shadowed by AJ Terrell, and Cooper Kupp is going to probably have 18 targets again. But we'll see how it goes. I got the Chargers today. I have like legitimately no players today. It's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I have there's 2 great offenses going up against each other. And just for whatever reason, across all my dynasty leagues and my redraft leagues, the only Chargers I have were Keenan Allen, who's injured, and I have Justin Herbert, but I'm tanking in that league, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep. We actually got another super chat here from Mark Gravy. Appreciate that. He says score predictions tonight. If either of you nails it, team and score, I'll drop a hundo super chat in next stream. Thanks for everyone, boys. Wow, that's a big one. Are we should I go with the Chiefs and you go with the Chargers if that's the case?
Sure. I'm gonna take a look. I want to get some analysis behind this. I'm gonna go to PFF Greenline real quick and see where the sharps are on the over under. So where I know
They're over. They're over.
They are, yeah, they're taking the over slightly though. So the over under is 53.5. They're barely taking the over. So give me 30 to 27. That's a 57 point over under. 30 to 27 Chargers is what I'm going to take.
I was just about to say that for the
bet on the Chargers. So
I was just about to say that for the Chiefs. 30 to 27.
Yeah, we'll pick a different score.
Yeah. I will go I'll go 28-24 Chiefs because they're without their kicker, so they might be a little bit more aggressive. If that makes sense. They have Matt Amendola starting a kicker tonight because Bucker's out.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Maybe they're more
kicking again.
God, did you see that extra point he missed?
Yeah,
went to Narnia.
Also, by the way, before we get into more questions, on Tuesdays we're gonna have like a flex video. We're gonna have either like dynasty decisions or like dynasty rankings or risers and fallers. Might do some college stuff. Talk about some college football players that are showing out. Let us know what you guys want us to do on those like Tuesday flex videos. Because it's going to be some kind of compilation of that. It'll be like dynasty related. Maybe we'll do like rest of season rankings one of those days as well. So let us know in the comments or whatever. PPR league, DJ Moore or Cortland Sutton?
DJ Moore.
That one's close, man. I got to actually look where I have those two guys ranked.
I got Judy extremely high. Sutton, I'm still don't mind. He's in my top 24. Actually, no, he's my 25. I can actually.
You have Sutton that low, eh?
He's in my top 24. It's because I have Judy at 13.
Fair enough. Okay.
I just changed it though. I put Sutton at 24.
Yeah, I have DJ Moore a little higher than Sutton, so I'm going to go with DJ Moore as well. I don't think Robbie Anderson's going to out-target DJ Moore every week like he did last week.
Where do you have Sutton?
I have Sutton at 21.
Oh, so why'd you say I'm so low on him? I'm at 24.
Well, I just because his consensus, he was like 13. Like his ECR was like, we all know ECR fallacious Cortland Sutton. So
where do you have CD?
I have Lamb at 23.
I'm at 22. So we're like almost lockstep. It's because him and Juju are back to back for me.
Yes, they're also back to back for me, and I have Deontay and DK Metcalf immediately after CD Lamb right now. Actually, you know what? I think I would probably start Deontay ahead of him.
I have Deontay at 20. So who do I have lower that you have higher than?
I have Amon-Ra at 17. So
I have Amon-Ra at 16.
Okay, so it's not him. I have Terry high.
I have Terry
15.
Michael Thomas at 14.
Yeah, I have Michael Thomas up there. It's probably T Higgins because I put T Higgins in there, assuming that he plays.
Where do you have him?
And then I am at 12 if he plays.
I have him at 17.
Okay, so you have him up there too. That's weird then.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, I have him at 20.
Jalen Waddle, I have 18.
Okay, so that's weird.
Brandon Cooks, maybe?
No, I tanked Cooks. I have him at 29.
I'm at 25. Christian Kirk?
26.
DK?
25.
27. How the fuck do you
I have Gabe Davis at 16. Do you have Gabe Davis anywhere?
Gabe Davis at 21.
Okay, so this is weird then. Judy, Marquise Brown.
Marquise Brown, I have at 12.
Mike Williams.
I have at 11 or 10.
Okay, so I think we're just like in the same spot here, but we're just like missing somebody that we just forgot about. Anyways,
maybe
didn't hear the answer to the tight end question.
What was the question
again? He said Everett or wait for Kittle, but also has Tonyan. Wait for Kittle is what we said. What do I do with Najee? I have him in 2 leagues, but I'm also forced to start him or Pollard. I'm just gonna play Najee. I think he's fine. Would you scoop up Ingram? No, I don't think Kamara's gonna miss the game. It sounds like it's not. He played through it last week. I don't think he's gonna be in a bad spot this week. Do I start Darnell Mooney?
Depends what other options you have, brother.
Like
30.
Yeah, I am at 31. So if you have like Elijah Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Brandon Cooks, Christian Kirk, DK Metcalf, I would start all those guys ahead of Darnell Mooney, but I have Darnell Mooney ahead of like Amari Cooper, Drake London, Julio Jones, Allen Robinson.
Yep. Steven says, big fan of Kyle Phillips. Think he could, I think he can lead the league or the team in targets. I mean, he's got a similar skill set to like what Hunter Renfrow would represent from the Raiders, where
I think eventually Burks is going to get in the lineup,
and I agree. I mean,
targets, but I
it's
still think Woods is going to eventually be back to normal too.
you know, at one point in the game, I don't actually know what he finished with, but Burks only like played a small percentage of their snaps, but his actual targets and yards per route run was actually insane in that game.
Oh yeah, he was really up there in terms of the advanced stuff on a like per route basis.
Like, I want to say he ran like 12 routes and he put up 55 receiving yards, which is like really good.
38% targets per route run, but I mean Kyle Phillips was 43%, so they were both up there.
There it is.
One running back and one flex: ETN, James Robinson, Pollard, Dobbins, and Chark. And okay, so on Dobbins, it looks like he might play this week because he's fully practicing right now. So that's interesting. But
I would go with ETN and Dobbins, hoping of course that Dobbins plays. If Dobbins is out, who are you starting with ETN? Because ETN's obviously the clear answer.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't want to start the two Jags running backs. I would say James Robinson, like just at face value, is probably the next best option, but I don't want to start both the Jags running backs, so I'd probably start Pollard.
I'm very interested to see how Dallas uses Pollard this week, because last week they just kind of forced him up the gut and it just wasn't looking pretty at all when he actually got his touches, which oddly enough, I mean, when Zeke isn't like the worst graded running back on your team on a week, the other running back played bad.
Yeah.
By the way, we got another $4.99 super chat here from Joey. Appreciate that. He says, would you trade George Kittle, Tyler Lockett, and Van Jefferson for Tyreek Hill and Hayden Hurst? 16-team PPR. My other tight end is Everett. I mean, I would rather Tyreek than Kittle. In a 16-teamer, it would be tough losing out on Lockett, but I think I'd be willing to do that deal.
Yeah, I think I am too. I think Tyreek's a bigger needle mover than what George. Even though George Kittle's a positional advantage if he's on the field, I'm taking Tyreek there. I think knowing that you have Everett and Hurst, I think you can kind of stream between those two guys. What's up, Bush and Danny? See the vid of Lance in the club? No, I actually did not see that.
I got to see this now. Is it on Twitter? Maybe.
By the way, are my CD Lamb shares cooked with Cooper Rush in? I mean, CD Lamb got 17 points when Cooper Rush started a game last year, and I think he'll be just fine. We saw him. I mean, last year he was running like 75% of the routes. He ran 98% in week 1, so he was clearly like the number one receiver from a usage standpoint, had like a 26% target share. So are your CD Lamb shares cooked? As in, like, could he be the best receiver in fantasy this year? Yeah, they're probably cooked from that perspective, but is he still going to be like at least DK Metcalf territory? I think so.
I mean, he is the ultimate where like everybody obviously paid up on him because they wanted to see it right away. He's like an instant gratification player where he's young, he's talented. You wanted to see him just break out right away. But everything that we needed to see, other than the actual stat line, came to fruition against Tampa Bay. It's just, I mean, we saw.
Well, I mean, he didn't play well either, so I would have said that wasn't part of it.
He didn't play well. He didn't separate well, and the actual like focus of your defense is, well, let's be honest, these other receivers aren't going to separate one-on-one against us, so we're going to bracket.
Oh yeah, he got doubled hard, and also we just have good corners too.
Yeah.
Like when our corners play really well, like they played against the Cowboys, they can lock up any receiving core in the league. Like I've seen them do that before.
They played very, very well, and I mean, I love Dak. He didn't have his greatest game, of course. Like we were watching that live. The offensive line held up more than I thought it would, but realistically, if the receivers weren't separating down the field, like Dak had time to throw. It's just nobody was getting open. And even when people were getting open, all the tight window throws he had to make was just insane.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Dak,
Mariota.
Question real quick. I'd go Mariota there, and we do have a super chat if you want to go down to that.
I will scroll down to that. You have where we left off. Alfredo, appreciate that. He says need flex Amon-Ra, empty. Deontay, CPAT, 10-team standard. Hopefully, Mike Will goes off tonight. Yeah, I agree with you. I would actually go with MT here, but it's so close between him and Amon-Ra. They're back-to-back in my rankings.
Yeah.
In my rankings.
Michael Thomas is getting shadowed by his father, so that makes me a little like intrigued by Amon-Ra. But I do still have Michael Thomas a little bit higher, so I will go.
Official that Carlton's going to follow him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Carlton will follow him 100%. That's how Bulls has deployed him against. I've seen people say like, "Oh, Carlton's not going to follow him." Like he always does every time Michael Thomas has been on the field. And Carlton is physical enough to match Michael Thomas because Michael Thomas usually just outmans and outmatches most of the corners he plays against. But Carlton's as big as him. So
speaking, by the way, man. Let me tell you, Todd Bowles threw fucking Kellen Moore in a blender in that game.
Dude, it looked like they knew every single play that was coming.
They did. Apparently, Devin White was interviewed after the game, And he basically said, he's like, we knew they weren't going to run inside on us. We knew anytime they were running the ball, it was going to be stretch. And we knew, okay, this receiving core is not proven. We could just press up in their faces and they won't be able to separate on us.
Yeah,
Devin White literally
Winfield
said
he knew everything that was happening behind him when he was playing nickel.
Yeah. Well,
Dude,
you could tell in game.
I listened to an interview that Winfield did. This guy actually might win DPOY this year. Like, I'm not even kidding. He is the most cerebral player I've ever heard. He's like a third-year player, and he sounds like fucking 35-year-old Rondé Barber when he talks.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was clear when we were at the game. I was getting frustrated because obviously, like, the Cowboys played bad in their own right. But I mean, realistically, like, after I was like looking at it afterwards, the way you guys game plan for our offense was just as impressive as how bad our offense was to begin with.
No, I think our defense is going to be better than it was the Super Bowl year. Legitimately, I think this year it's going to be, because our secondary was like rookies and second-year players that year, but they're all like in their third and fourth seasons now. They all have experience. Like Winfield was a rookie that year. All those other corners were like second and third-year players. So yeah, I really like their chances to go far in the playoffs because the NFC is so soft.
I can see it. I mean, realistically, I'd put you guys as the best team in the NFC right now. Like,
yeah, even with the injuries that we have, because like if we can just get by with Fournette, Brady game managing, and our defense playing well, and get to 4-2 by like week 6 when Godwin and Evans and everybody should be healthy, I think we should be good to go, and our offense maybe can carry us in the playoffs. Unlike the Super Bowl year where our defense did it. So. Schultz or Everett. I'm leaning more towards Everett, but what do you think? I'm probably still going to go Schultz there.
I would go Schultz. I'm just going to trust the volume. I will say with Everett, he is like very interesting because I mean, I talked about him in my streamer show, but basically this was a guy that was about 70% in terms of route participation, about a 15% target share. With Keenan Allen out, I do expect that to, at least maintain, if not get better in what should be a high scoring game. However, the pure target upside of Dalton Schultz is just too much to ignore, especially without Dak. I mean, we're not realistically going to take a ton of deep shots down the field. And given the inexperience in terms of our short-term weapons, I mean, are we, as much as I hyped him up in the preseason, are we hyping up, or are we counting on Dennis Houston on third down or Dalton Schultz on third down? I'm sure I know what the
Noah Brown. He had more targets on third down than CeeDee Lamb did.
Did you also? By the way, did you see the scramble drill? How lost Noah Brown was on that one play?
Yeah, I did. And for what it's worth, too, Dalton Schultz had 9 targets in the game that Cooper Rush started last year, too. So it's a 1-game sample size, but I think he will lean on him too. PPR league, pick 3 to start: Higgins, Pittman, Deontay, Gabe Davis. I'm sitting Deontay if Higgins plays. If Higgins doesn't play, then you have an easy decision. You just play the other guys.
I'd agree with that. Though in a PPR, it is pretty close between Gabe Davis and
and it definitely is. I think you could really make the argument for Deontay, but I think the Bills are going to hang 40 on the Titans, so I want to play Gabe Davis in that game.
I agree. Like Gabe Davis has about more upside there.
Oh yeah, great content. Let's watch a slop eat a burrito instead of talking. LOL. Big pick 2, full PPR: Sutton, Mike Williams, Dillon, or St. Brown. My only fear is I've got Herbert and Everett tonight. Do I want to do a 3-team stack on Thursday night? I mean, Mike Williams, I'm going to play him. I don't care if I have other players playing tonight. So I'm going Mike Williams and probably St. Brown as the other guy, but Sutton is close in there as well.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, my bad for eating dinner. Like, it's not like that's a common thing. Like,
don't take it seriously. Pick 1, full PPR: Cooks, Robinson, or Hollywood Brown. I'm not going Hollywood Brown there. Mike Williams or Juju? Who do I play? Mike Williams.
Can somebody ban this 69mega.com, please?
Yeah, I don't think our mod's in there. You can do it while I'm going through here. Nathan, full PPR, pick 1: Landry, Palmer, or Rex Burkhead. I'm going to go with Josh Palmer there tonight. I think he's got the most upside. Landry's probably a fine play also, but I like Palmer more.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Because it's flex too. Like, I don't mind Rex Burkhead either this week, which is gross. But I'll probably lean on the upside of Palmer. I'm not starting Rex Burkhead,
dude. He's definitely going to be a dumpster fire this week. I can see it. There's a lot of people talking about Pierce in a second here. I think Rex Burkhead's week 1 is going to be the anomaly of all anomalies this year.
Maybe. But at the same time, it's like his utilization was actually elite.
No, it was really good, but I don't think they're going to give him that much volume again. I think that was complete outlier.
Yeah.
Literally. Why did I buy the hype on Pierce? Picked him up in both my leagues. I mean, I hope you didn't pick him super, super high. If you got him in like the 8th, 9th round, it's probably fine. But if you took him in like round 5 or something, then that was probably a fuck up on your part.
I heard some leagues he was going like round 3. I'm like, what the fuck
that's a huge throw. Who do I bench full PPR? I do think Pierce is a decent buy low though, because people are so off of him now after what happened that you might be able to get him for like if somebody drafted him around 7 or around 8 and saw that in week 1, you might be able to get like a bench, like a Jahan Dotson or something and flip him for Dameon Pierce. If you wanted to, go after running back depth or something, if you're running a hero.
Omar, you're benching Palmer. Appreciate
you're
the
benching
comment
Palmer.
too.
Yeah.
London's so good, but Lave's still winning offensive rookie of the year. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if either
Jahan
of them.
Dotson. I have $6 on Jahan Dotson to win offensive rookie of the year to plus 1,100.
Chop says Dylan or CH RB2 PPR. I'm going Dylan.
I'm going CH.
I'll bet on that.
Yeah, I don't want to bet on CH ever again.
Wait. As gross as it sounds, in PPR, you would think that advantage would be CH, but apparently it's actually Dylan.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to agree with you. It's Dylan. I'm not taking CH. I'm not betting on fucking CH. What the hell am I
Sunday Night
about?
Football. We got AJ Quadzilla himself just setting the tone on the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
defense.
The fucking Packers are 10-point favorites in that game, too.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So Dylan should get a decent amount of work in that game.
He's actually going to get churned.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely did enjoy our time. Appreciate it. You've got a job to do, LOL. Bateman or Robinson at wide receiver 2 this week. I'm going to take Rashad Bateman. Hopefully he only ran like 71% of the routes, which was kind of sketch. Hopefully that was a result of them blowing the Jets out and not Bateman not being the like alpha wide receiver 1 on that offense.
Wait, side note, one thing too, by the way, Bush, by the way, I would go with Bateman. My home league, like I had a bunch of risky picks, but after week 1, it's looking nice. So obviously Christian McCaffrey at 1. I mean, it's still risky. Didn't have a great week 1, but we're here. Like it's Christian McCaffrey's going to pick it up. Javonte Williams. I mean, we saw the receiving usage. Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, all looking like they're going to pay off so far. So if everything comes to fruition, that team's going to be fun.
Yeah, I need so far my biggest regret in my home league was drafting DJ Moore over some of the guys that like. But the other thing though is that like the guys I picked him over, like I was going to pick him over like Marquise Brown and like guys that like aren't, superstars yet, but I think I might have rather invested in those better offenses and I might have picked Allen Robinson instead of him. So maybe that was a good thing that I didn't do that.
I'm still fine with DJ Moore.
Yeah, I am too. But like, I'm starting to worry that DJ Moore is going to be back in his perpetual state of like wide receiver 25 in points per game that he's been like the last couple of years and not the chance that he was going to be a top 12 guy this year if Baker played better. But who knows? Maybe Baker looked good in the second half. He just looked so bad in the first half.
Herbert or Hurts. Fuck, man. Like those are 2 top 5 options, but I got to go with Herbert. I got to go with Herbert against the Chiefs, man. That game's going to blow the fuck up.
I'm taking Hurts.
It's so close though. Like
I got Hurts is at home. Hurts runs, so he's like the safer floor.
They are quarterback 3 and 4 in my rankings
also
this week.
Yeah, man, that's tough, man. I got him 3 and 5. Like I like them both this week, like crazy. I would try and sell one of those guys if you can.
Who do you have at 2?
Mahomes.
Same. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw all I needed to see out of Mahomes in week 1.
Yeah, no, I did as well. I feel like kind of a dumbass for saying that he was like going overvalued, but like the point still stands that he probably shouldn't have been going as high as he was going relative to the other elite quarterbacks, but he was such a safe range of outcomes projection that probably a bit of a throw on my part to call him like a player to avoid in drafts. Mac Jones, Mariota, or Daniel Jones. Ooh, doesn't get more rough than that. Give me Mariota though. At least he runs out of those guys, and Daniel Jones just fucking sucks. So I'm not going to start him. Darrell Henderson, Jeff Williams, or either of the Jets running backs.
Yeah.
Who do you like there? I think I like Henderson the most out of those guys.
Darrell pretty easily.
But I don't mind Jeff Wilson either.
Yeah, no, I think it's Darrell Henderson pretty easily though.
Duncan, just re-ask the question. It's gonna take me forever to find that because there's like. By the way, appreciate all you guys for commenting as quickly as you do on these videos. That's the one thing I love about the regular season is that you guys just algorithm be damned. You're like, I'm commenting now. I wish you guys did this all off season with all the start set questions. Definitely appreciate it. But yeah, Duncan, just ask your question again. We'll try and get to it.
What do you guys think about trading Khalil Herbert and Zay Jones for Ramondre? I don't mind doing that at all. Go after Ramondre Stevenson.
Yep.
Would trade T. Higgins and J-Rob for Diggs? Yeah, I would. I'd be fine doing that at all. Pretty easily.
Yeah, I would rather have Diggs there for sure. I need
a wide receiver in the flex. Edmonds, Etienne, Deontay, London, Palmer, A-Rob, Julio, and Curtis. So you need 2 of these guys. If
Deontay
that's the case,
is my wide receiver.
Are you starting London or you got to go Etienne? You got to go Etienne, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, man, because like all those guys are like I would say London and ETN are probably in like the same territory, and even Julio's kind of in that territory with them. I'd probably go ETN, but I wouldn't blame you for going London because I think ETN's a little bit more volatile than London.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, Chap asked this question a million times, but yeah, AJ Dillon would be the guy that we would go with. Are we running CH tonight? I
Depends
have
what your
CH.
options are.
Yeah, it depends what your options are. I have him ranked at 22 right now.
He is
So I do have him. That's probably the highest I've ever ranked CH in my life.
I've got 21.
Yeah.
Who do you have ahead of him? Hunt?
No, I have him 23.
Duh. I got to put Darrell Henderson ahead of him. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, I have Darrell Henderson ahead of him as well.
22. Yeah.
And I have Cordarrelle Patterson, Josh Jacobs, Ezekiel Elliott, AJ Dillon, Antonio Gibson.
People are bashing me on Twitter for trading Lamb and Williams for Higgins and Keenan. That's pretty close. Obviously with
that
Lamb,
seems kind of just like a lateral trade, to be honest. But I don't mind. I think as long as Higgins and Keenan, like, because they're injured, that's probably why people are bashing you. As long as they're healthy, and Higgins just a concussion. I mean, I say just a concussion, like it's not a serious head injury, but from a fantasy perspective, it usually doesn't mean like a lot of extended periods of time that people are out. By the way, 135 of you in the chat right now. Leave a like if you had your question answered, if you guys enjoy. I believe too, we're like 40 subscribers away from like 15K. And also we're like 60 followers away from 10,000 on TikTok as well. So both links are down below in the description. I believe we also have a super chat from Efren. If I recognize,
I'll get down to it. Oh yeah, you knew. Efren, $5 super chat says, outlook on Cordarrelle Patterson rest of the season. Thinking to send Jeff Wilson plus Jalen Warren to the Najee owner for him. Lamb owner offered Lamb for Hurts in a 6-point passing touchdown league. What you doing? So for the first one, Jeff Wilson and Warren for Cordarrelle Patterson. I don't mind making that move.
Yeah, I would rather have CPAT than both of those guys combined. I'm pretty sure. Like Warren's not going to be valuable to you. Like people in more casual leagues will value their handcuffs like that. So yeah, I like making that move. Lamb owner offered Lamb for Hurts. So I'm assuming he has Hurts, and he's
if you have a quarter.
Lamb.
No, yeah, he has Hurts. The Lamb owner offered him Lamb. As long as you have like a decent quarterback, I don't mind moving that at all. I think Lamb's got legitimate wide receiver 2 upside even for the time being, and obviously when Dak's back, he's going to be a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, and if you have like a Herbert or something in a 6-point, like I would rather have Herbert than Hurts or whatever. So yeah, I definitely like that move there. Gordo, should I start Kittle or Everett?
Kittle.
Yeah, I would say Kittle, but it depends who your other options would be.
I'm fine with missing out on Everett's production, and then just picking up like even Robert Tonyan off of waivers if you need to,
or David Njoku, or maybe Cole Kmet was dropped. Even like there's probably some guys out there.
He already got that answered. Pick one: Kareem Hunt, ETN, or Edmonds. I would go slightly leaning Travis Etienne over Kareem Hunt here.
I have Kareem Hunt 1 spot higher than ETN.
Really?
Yeah. I have him at 23. The Jets are so bad against the run. At least they were last year.
Yeah, it's close. You know what? I'm actually going to flip that. I'll go with Kareem Hunt. They're back-to-back in my rankings.
Yeah. Ivan says PPR flex 10 team. Michael Thomas, Hollywood, or Waddle?
Michael Thomas. Hollywood 1 spot higher than him. Yeah, I'm going Hollywood.
That's close, though, man.
That's close, though, yeah.
The only tiebreaker being the Carltons shadowing Michael Thomas, pretty much.
Yep.
Jets defense versus the Browns, Panthers versus the Giants, or Commanders versus the Lions. I think the Panthers are at home, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look.
All of these are gross, dude. You should have better options on your waivers.
Really? You don't like these options?
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
like, is there not like a Cincinnati on your waivers? I'd rather Cincinnati.
Cincinnati had an easy matchup in week 1, so they probably they had the Steelers, so they're probably owned in most leagues, I would say. None of these defenses are actually at home, which is kind of shitty.
That's why
I'd probably say the Commanders because they're the best defense, probably like best real life.
Even that's debatable at this point.
Yeah, I mean they should be the best real life defense of these guys, but I don't mind that just attacking Daniel Jones is usually a smart idea too. Yeah. Just going with the Panthers there. Sorry, that was kind of a shitty answer. I think I'd say Panthers final answer would be where I'd go.
Yeah.
CH or MT? Give me Michael Thomas there.
MT.
Sully.
Yep. Thanks. Thanks, Ty. I think the trade will probably get rejected, but don't think it's too lopsided. AJ Dillon or Hollywood Brown in the flex. Give me Hollywood there, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Would you drop anybody for Pollard, Penny, or Moore? Is that Elijah Moore?
I need to know which Moore that is.
Yeah,
brother.
if that's Rondale, then I would not drop Brees or Kirk. But if that's if even that's Elijah Moore, do you drop Brees Hall or Kirk? This looks like a shallow league of something.
I would take Elijah Moore over Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk looked pretty fucking good last week, man. I'm getting higher. Maybe it's
I'm trusting my.
confirmation bias because I have Christian Kirk on my team, but I also have Elijah Moore on my team, and I'm choosing to start Christian Kirk over him this week.
That's fine this week. I'm talking about the rest of the season, brother.
Yeah, I think I would rather. If I had to choose one, I would rather have Moore over Brees, but I don't want to drop Brees Hall because I think that's a stupid idea. So, I mean, do you have a second tight end or a second quarterback that you can drop instead of these guys? If not, hopefully that's just Rondale and we don't have to make this decision.
Yep.
People are dropping Bateman, Mooney, Brees Hall, and
Crazy.
Prescott. Yeah, Bateman. Who I don't know who drops Bateman after a 57-yard touchdown. But I would probably go pick up Bateman priority and then Brees Hall probably second.
Yep. Well, one quickly, we do got a super chat here from Jared. He says, first touchdown score prediction tonight. Also Saquon. Is there Saquon look great? In terms of first touchdown score tonight, I think I'm just gonna go easy. I'm gonna go Travis Kelsey.
I have a parlay of anytime touchdown score Juju and Austin Eckler. That is a $20 bet that pays out 80, I think, or $75. So
Not bad.
I have them anytimes. I would say first touchdown score is probably Austin Eckler though.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Planning on benching ETN for Michael Carter until I see ETN. No, I would not do that personally. I think
I wouldn't either.
I think Michael Carter probably will still have like a decent role this week, but I think the split's going to start to shrink between him and Brees Hall as the weeks go along, and I think ETN just has a much safer role.
Side note, Bush. So I'm in my one home league, right? And basically, I'll just show the team so the viewers can see. But basically, that's what I got set right now. I got Carson Wentz, Javonte, Henderson, Kupp, Thielen, Tunyon, Evans, Lamb. I'm thinking again. You guys can let me know too. Is this a throw if I start Jahan Dotson over Adam Thielen just so I have that potential stack with Carson Wentz? I'm probably an underdog this week because Marco's got a really good team and I just lost Dak, but like it should be relatively close.
I think Thielen, even though Thielen
that's where I'm at too,
has the Eagles secondary, which has Bradbury and Darius Slay and CJ Gardner-Johnson in it, I would probably still go with Thielen.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. It's just I want to start Dotson, but I just need that confirmation not to because like it would be a throw.
Yeah. Rank these running backs based on who has the most upside. I would say James Cook has the most upside because of the offense that he plays in. Also,
Cook, I think White Algier.
I would say total overall upside is White, but likelihood of achieving that upside factoring in, I would say James Cook.
Yeah, I would go
because
Cook, White,
it requires injury for Rachaad White, but he has the most upside should an injury happen.
By the way, did you see Pete Overzet's tweet the other day? How like Tyler Algier sent him a trade offer in Sleeper?
Yeah, dude, I wish I was in that league with Tyler Algier. I'm pissed,
dude. That's just hilarious because then Pete's like, if you want T, you're gonna have to give yourself me or something like that, and he just like his counter was like the 11th round.
He got good value. He didn't reach on himself. I think most football players. I think AJ Dillon took himself in like round 3 last year, and when he was in the
he won the championship though,
Ballers League or whatever.
Dude, yeah, he's
kind of a tone setter.
Yeah, he won the sleeper championship last year in that league.
So depressing. How do you go to League of Analysts and beat them when you're literally an NFL player not focused on this?
Apparently, that's his first year playing fantasy too.
Oh God. Jalen Waddle or DJ Moore for flex 12-man PPR. I'll take DJ Moore there.
I'll agree.
Very close. How do you feel about ETN this week? I have him as a top 24 running back. I think he's a fine start, especially in any kind of PPR league, but I don't think you have to start him if you have a great wide receiver or something. CEH or ETN? I have CEH higher.
Sorry, Atomic. Did we not get to it? Oh, it didn't even show up. My bad there, Atomic. He said we skipped it. I didn't even notice this at first. Kelsey and Patterson for two firsts, a second, and 2/3. Yeah, good deal there. That's
holy shit, dude.
Really,
I would have
really
taken
good value.
probably 1 first and a third for that.
Yeah, I gotta be attentive for the blue ones because they don't show up on StreamYard. That's my bad.
Yeah, I don't know why. I wish there was a way to fix that. For some reason, it only shows us $5 or more super chats. Like,
yeah, I don't know why.
Or like StreamYard thing, but
yeah, we're gonna need to fix that. Sorry. I just wanted to notice that. Okay, we got another one. We already addressed that. Perfect. Let me just make sure. Here's $2 more. Yeah, appreciate that, and thank you for the generosity. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we should have given you $2 back for us skipping it. Struggling between.
Got another one. That's why I noticed. Pitts or Everett. Give me Kyle Pitts all the way there. Louis.
Yeah, I'm not sitting Kyle Pitts. You don't say Kyle Pitts.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Paxton struggling between Damian Pierce or Tony Pollard right now. I'm gonna
PPR
probably go
redraft.
Damian Pierce. I don't really like either
More
of these
upside
options.
there. Yeah,
but I
more
think there's
upside in
upside
case,
here.
because obviously we know if Zeke's healthy, he's going to get a decent portion of the workload. Week 1, what we saw from Burkhead, like you would assume that he's going to get that workload, but I mean, it's fucking Rex Burkhead. There's always the chance that Damian Pierce, breaks off a 65-yard play and then just gets the workload for the rest of the game.
Yeah, agreed. Who should I start at my flex full PPR? Deontay Johnson or Michael Thomas? I'm going Michael Thomas there, Omar.
Mikel.
Yeah, I moved Jalen Warren for a 2023 second. Was that worth it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You moved a UDFA for a second round pick.
That's fun.
Everett, Schultz, or Knox in PPR. I'm probably going Schultz regardless. There, he's a Schultz. Huge PPR monster for sure. Should I start my flex option? DK Metcalf, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris, or J.K. Dobbins? I have Lamb the highest of those guys.
I have him the highest of two.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney or Josh Palmer? Give me Darnell Mooney there, D-Web.
Give me Juju there, Ish.
Ishbino.
Yeah, in a 14-man league, considering trying to tier up at wide receiver upgrade using Jeff Wilson Jr. and a wide receiver, would going after Kamara using Waddle and Jeff Wilson Jr. be a good idea? Yeah, if you can get Kamara for Waddle and Jeff Wilson, that is a great move.
Yeah, you're basically transitioning, Waddle and whatever FAAB you paid for Jeff Wilson to upgrade to Kamara.
Yeah. Let us know, by the way, like what did everyone go for in people's leagues? I got Jeff Wilson in our listener league, our Patreon
like
listener
$30,
league,
I think.
$30, I think is what I got him for.
So, side note too, in one of my more casual home leagues, somebody dropped George Pickens after week 1.
Speaking of casuals, I fucking blew my entire FAAB budget in the Big Dogs Bash on Jalen Warren by accident, because when we were in the airport, I was like, oh, I should probably blow my entire FAAB budget on him because number one, it was a 20 round draft. So like the waivers are pretty slim. And number two, I didn't know Najee Harris was coming back this week. It was at the time, it was like, he's going to be out for like 2 to 4 games. So I was like, you know what? I have DeAndre Hopkins. I have Michael Gallup. I have all these guys that can't help me right now. I need to win games. And Cam Akers is like my RB2. So I'm like, hey, if Jalen Warren's, if I drop my entire FAAB budget on him and he's like a serviceable RB2 for the next couple of weeks, that's worthwhile for my team. But I forgot to adjust my FAAB bid before when it was announced that Najee Harris was probably going to be back for this game. So I dropped $100 on fucking Jalen Warren. But thankfully, like I said, it's a pretty shallow or deep league, so it's not like there's going to be huge waivers all the time anyway. Start Everett tonight or wait. Yeah, so wait to see if Kittle plays. Ramondre or Pollard this week. Yeah, Ramondre as well. Sup lads, what's going on, BMAC? Juju or A-Rahab, full PPR. Juju as the guy I'd be going with there. Kirk and Henderson easily. That he's referring to my start sit decision there. Yep. Ayuk might get second. Dude, I don't think Ayuk's going to get 2 targets again for 2 reasons. Number one, it's not going to be literally fucking raining and pouring that entire game. That was insane. Like I saw the mic'd up that Roquan Smith had, and like legit the field was like 2 feet of water. Like it wasn't just raining. Like it was literally a monsoon. And
what did you see after the game?
The number 1 receiver now because Debo's gonna be playing running back.
Did you see after the game the slip and slide?
Oh yeah. The Justin Fields thing too, like the play that he had where he just slides on his stomach or whatever. That was hilarious. Should I?
Here, click back on that. Sorry, I misclicked.
Should I sit Elijah for Devontae? No, I would play Elijah Moore over him. Dynasty, T, Tony, and a 4th or Pittman. I would rather have T Higgins than Pittman straight up. So give me the T Higgins side. Henderson or Ayuk in my flex. I literally have this exact decision, and I'm going with Henderson. So that answers your question. Would you trade George Kittle, Tyler Lockett, and Van Jefferson? Oh, yeah,
already answered that
question. Tyreek side. Koo or Hopkins at kicker. I'll probably go Koo. He's just the better kicker. I'll go with him.
Plus it's more fun starting him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, start 2, 1 at running back and the other at flex. Ayuk. So at running back, I'm gonna probably. You say Wilson?
Edmonds and Ayuk.
Oh, you're going Edmonds over Jeff Wilson?
Yeah.
I would like to know scoring format. If that was half or standard, I might go with the touchdown upside of Wilson. But
I saw the opportunity. I saw the opportunity that Edmonds got in week 1, whereas there's a lot more projection in terms of what Jeff Wilson's workload is going to look like. So yeah. I'll just go with Edmonds.
Yeah, I'll go with Edmonds as well. By the way, if you guys, because we're not going to get to all the questions. I mean, there's 140 of you in here. But if you guys want to not have to get your question answered, our start sit rankings are available. Our weekly rankings available one of two ways, either via Patreon, and we just posted the Patreon post over there, or with a new Underdog sign up. So I saw somebody comment down below, like, do I have access to the weekly rankings? I signed up for Underdog in the summer. No, it is for new Underdog signups. So you'd have to sign up after the season begun. To, obviously incentivize you guys to sign up if you haven't already done so. So if you haven't signed up yet, you can get our weekly rankings by doing so, or if you already have an account or whatever, you can get them via Patreon as well. So, if you're not able to get your questions answered or whatever. And also we have our Patreon only live stream on Saturdays if you are patrons. Alex says start 3, 2 points per reception, 2 PPR. Higgins, Waddle, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Michael Thomas, AJ Dillon.
MT has to be in your lineup.
It has to be wide receivers pretty much in a 2 points per reception league. I'm going Deontay, Michael Thomas, and T. Higgins if he plays, but if he doesn't play, I'll go Waddle.
Yeah, I would agree. What about Najee? Where's he slip into there?
Oh, yeah, I guess Najee is there. I didn't even see him. I'd probably go Najee, Michael Thomas, Higgins then. But like 2 points per reception, man, Deontay Johnson's got to have a lot of value in that kind of league.
Oh, yeah.
Who is DeAndre Carter, and is he a sneaky start? No. I mean, I think he's a 1 week blip on the radar. Josh Palmer's the guy that you want, if I'm being honest.
Yep.
What's up, gents? What's going on, Mike?
Mike.
What would you rank these players in PPR? A-Rob, ETN, Darrell Henderson. I would rank them Darrell Henderson, ETN, A-Rob.
Is it the season or the rest of this week?
For this week, that's how I would rank them. Rest of season, I would go with the ETN, A-Rob, Darrell Henderson.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Yeah. Everett or Knox? Give me Dawson Knox.
Everett.
You take Everett over Dawson Knox? I'll bet you that one.
I'll bet you that right now. PPR?
I mean, those are both, high implied team totals for, teams with
same representation. Same representation. At least I got the target share that I wanted from Everett week 1.
That's fair, but I mean, I got the usage more, like the better usage out of Dawson Knox for the most part.
Pretty comparable. I mean, like
it was comparable, but last year Dawson Knox was like a 90% route participation guy, and they don't have anybody. I think just by happenstance that he didn't play that much.
Yep, that's fair.
Because I think was he dealing with something coming into that game? I feel like he was dealing with an injury. I don't remember. Anyways,
I don't know.
Either way, I'm going Dawson Knox slightly. Tunyon or Njoku. I don't know who I would even have higher ranked there at the moment. I have Tunyon a little bit higher. So I think in that game, the Packers are big time favorites. I would take the opportunity. Tunyon scores a touchdown probably. Najee or Chase Edmonds for week 2. If Najee plays, he's over Chase Edmonds for sure. Need a higher floor. I mean, he is the higher floor. He has the workload. So he's the floor play for sure. Schultz or the Muth at tight end. Concerned about Dak being out. I don't think this is a crazy conversation. I think I would still lean Schultz, but realistically, what is the difference now without Dak Prescott between Dalton Schultz and Pat Freiermuth?
None. I would take Schultz this week, but I mean none.
Yeah. MVS or Hunt at flex? I'm going Kareem Hunt there. MVS, though, for what it's worth, it did run as many routes, 81% of the routes for the Chiefs, as Juju Smith-Schuster. So he is clearly like the number 2 receiver outside in 2 wide receiver sets. So if you are don't start McCole Hardman. I know a lot of people have asked me about McCole Hardman. Do not start him at all. Same with Sky Moore. They're just not playing enough. Start Ayuk over Palmer. I'm going to ride with you guys on this one. Yeah, I mean, Palmer could definitely burn us for saying start Ayuk over him because this is a high, could be a shootout type of game. So Palmer, I think, probably has the higher ceiling just because of the game script that we're talking about here, but I think Ayuk is a safer projection.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Would you trade George Kittle? Oh yeah, we already answered that. 97% of bets are going on Kelsey over receiving yards. Something tells me Vegas knows something. Yeah, they know that Kelsey's probably a lock for 10 plus targets a game.
Oh, it's so funny, right? Because again, I warmed up on Kelsey as the season came along, but I remember at the beginning of the summer, I'm like, oh, I don't want Kelsey in redraft, yada yada yada, this and that. And then the more you look at it and you realize if we're so against Juju Smith-Schuster, if we know Sky Moore's a rookie receiver that's probably not going to get a big role right away, what's stopping Travis Kelsey from legitimately averaging 100 yards, maybe a touchdown per game in that stretch? And especially at tight end, I mean, realistically, you could expect fringe top 5 wide receiver numbers from Kelsey at tight end, which, as we know from a scarcity perspective, getting, 17, 18 plus PPR points from your tight end is pretty darn valuable when the tight end 6 is probably giving you 11.
Yeah, exactly. Would love to hear your dynasty trade targets or something from you guys. Yeah, definitely. I think this week
We'll
we'll
do.
definitely cover like our first batch maybe of rest of season rankings. Because
Yep.
that's going to have some trade implications and all that kind of stuff. But we'll also probably touch on trade targets. I think after like a month of the college football season is when, because Domain says, would love to hear your takes on 2023 prospects. Probably going to give it a couple more weeks to see some real data
Yep.
from the 2023 class to see how they're doing. But I'm getting excited more and more each college football week that passes by watching some of these guys.
Side note, did you see how like what happened in our listener redraft league this week?
What happened?
That I put up like 150 points and I lost.
Oh, dude, did you see what's his name? Flet put up 145 and lost to me, and he's tanking. But
I
he
saw
had
that too.
like
Yeah.
he had like random guys like I mean he has like Carson Wentz and Jahan Dotson that just like combined for 2 touchdowns. Like it was
Dude,
really weird how he almost beat me. But thank God Saquon Barkley and Leonard Fournette did the Lord's work for me on in the 4 p.m. in the Sunday night slate.
is the game started, by the way?
It's
Because
about to start.
okay.
Kickoff's about to happen. So we'll
Um,
we'll rip through a couple more of these
okay.
questions, and then I mean lineups are going to lock. We only got to about like 7:37 p.m. Again, if you guys want to make sure that your question gets answered, hit the notification bell on our channel so that you're notified when we go live and you can get your question in right away because we do go in sequential order of the questions that were asked. So unless you super chat, we're just going to go in the order of the questions that
Yep.
were laid out here. Would you trade George
I
Kittle
already read
title? Oh,
that.
yeah, we already answered that. Yeah, Joey, please do not spam your questions. 30-27
He
Chargers,
super chatted it.
28-24 Chiefs locked in. Hope y'all win. Good luck. Appreciate it, our gravy, for the opportunity.
Yep.
Aaron Jones or Clyde Edwards-Helaire PPR. I'm going to go with Aaron Jones still.
Yep. I agree with that.
Over CEH. Yo, how's it going? Hope y'all are well. Half
Appreciate
PPR
that.
Judy or DJ Moore. I'm
I
going to
think
take
Judy.
Jerry Judy by a hair.
I
I think I have him like
I
one spot higher.
I think Judy's this year's third year breakout. I mean, we talked about it a lot all offseason, but he looks so fucking good this week against the
Yeah.
Seahawks, man. And like again, like it wasn't like
We were watching it in the airport. We saw the
oh
bomb
yeah.
touchdown
Well, like
right
that's
after we got the plane. Got
that
off
like
the plane.
70-yarder. He looked fucking like how many tackles did he break or how many tackles did he avoid on that play?
He broke a sure tackle too.
Yeah.
The main one that he broke was like you should have gone down.
Yeah. No, that was a good game by him. I think we could be expecting like top 15 level production from him this year, which if you're taking him round 4, round 5, sometimes even later in some home leagues, like you're loving that.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like the game has started already. The Chiefs are taking their first drive. They're taking the ball first. So first touchdown score, I would say, is probably going to be a Kansas City Chief. I'm expecting pretty much every drive the Chiefs to score a touchdown at this point. So apologize if we didn't get to your questions. Like I said, if you want to make sure we get to your questions, you can check out our Patreon because we do a Patreon only live stream every Saturday so that, there's not 140 people in the Patreon live stream so that you can make sure that your questions get answered. Also, It's on Saturday, so we have a lot more information by that point in time. And at the beginning of those Patreon live streams, we're going to post them to YouTube. Last week we didn't because there was a bunch of technical difficulties at the beginning of it, but we're going to post them to YouTube afterwards. So if you guys want to go back and rewatch it at the beginning of those live streams, we'll talk about the injury news and that kind of stuff as well. Make sure you're following us over on TikTok for injury news and stuff too. But yeah, with that being said, we'll peace out, guys, and we will talk to you tomorrow.